Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Marketing 101. We got a great guest this week, Dr. Jacqueline Vaughn. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, she's up in Michigan. You won't believe this, how many years she's been working because of how young she looks, but she's been doing this for a long time, and I'm sure she's going to bring a lot of value here. So this is going to be just a fun podcast about marketing, growth, developing, working with family, all the things that come with being a chiropractor. So thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself. How'd you get into chiropractic? How'd you end up in Michigan?
Well, born and raised in Michigan, and actually came from a family of chiropractors. I have two uncles that are chiropractors. And then my daughter, Dr. Rhonda, is actually the 12th chiropractor in our family.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Yeah. We didn't go to medical doctors. I only knew chiropractors in our life. And that's what I ended up doing. I'm the second generation, first female, and then Rhonda's third generation.
Great. Well, look at that. And you guys have stayed in the same area in Michigan the whole time?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Great. Good for you guys. That's awesome. Okay. So now my questions are coming. Now we're going to get started. So when you started, what was it like running an office as far as, let's keep it to the marketing and growth? I mean, that's what everyone wants to know is how to get new patients, but we'll explain maybe at the end why that's going to spin your wheel for decades if you always run for that. But how did you get started in those days? You know, there's not much long ago, but how did it do before Facebook and before Google Ads and before all that? How'd you get started?
Well, I've been in practice 43 years. There was no such thing, as you say, as Facebook and Google and all of that stuff. Basically, what you did is you joined your Better Business Bureau kind of a things. You joined your all your little I'm sorry, what are they called?
Rotary clubs, the networking groups,
exactly. Yeah, and so there were only a handful. Yeah, there were only a handful. And I have to say, me being a female back 43 years ago, it was pretty much a men's club doing this kind of a thing. So it was difficult to get into these things. I don't even think they let me in the Rotary. That was for men only.
Wow.
Back in the day. And Toastmasters and all that kind of stuff. So it took some time. I had to just get out there and get my face known, talk to people. And then again, I had family members. I had my two uncles and some cousins at that point in time. So my name was known at that point in time. So that made it easier. But as time went on and Google and Facebook and everything else opened up and women were allowed to get into these men groups only kind of a thing, the world is your oyster.
Right. So why were groups important? I mean, of course, there's no digital advertising, but why were groups important right off the bat?
Well, groups right off the bat, you got to meet people and you got to share your ideas. You got to meet other business people. So meeting them and making a connection with them, of course, when they had people that they knew that were having issues with their back or their neck or whatever, my name would pop up because my face was associated. They knew me. So the more groups that you could become involved with, the more people you could get in front of, the more your name got out.
Yeah, I asked that question because as I coach a lot of new chiropractors and older chiropractors, the new ones are like, why do I have to go do that? They literally think they can just pump into digital and they'll go off, build a practice very quickly.
Yeah.
But if people don't know who you are, right, then you can do all the digital you want, but your name is not known. It's not going to go far. Like, I like how you brought that up. My name, the Vaughn family was there. It was known. It helped. And it made my job a little easier, but you got rooted in the community a lot quicker that way, even with the limitations of not being a man. So those things are really important. That's great. So then the years go by, you build a great practice, and your daughter's like, you know what? I'm going to be a chiropractor too. She goes off and does that. How is it like working with family?
I think it's great. I don't think we have a problem. She may say differently. I don't know, but I enjoy watching her grow. And of course, everything that I've done is going to be hers, obviously. So working together is fine. She is much more into, of course, computers and all of that kind of stuff. I I have issues. I have big issues with computers. So she does all of that kind of stuff, but we do all kinds of community things together.
Right.
The benevolence that Sean and Lacey talk about, we've done that for a couple, 3 years now. And that is wonderful. And that not only helps us as a business, we're helping other businesses grow as well. And that's really rewarding as well.
That's cool. Now let's get into the benevolence thing, but let's connect the bridge here for the listeners. So we get out into the community. We have to shake hands. We have to join the Rotary clubs. We have to do the BNIs or whatever it is. You don't have to do anything, but you have to get out there and build a reputation. Once that's done and people now know who Vaughn is or Dolce Corey is, I mean, these aren't easy names, right? So once they know who these people are, then you can come back with something like what we're going to talk about here, the benevolence campaign, where you start highlighting the businesses that you've been shaking hands with for the last 6 months or 6 years. And it becomes a very open door relationship when you come in and make an ask. Making an ask is the most difficult thing you can do as a human to another human. It's the most vulnerable position to be in. And it's one of the strongest ties you can create with another human being is making an ask, asking them to help you in any way, shape, or form. So once you build these relationships, you can go in and shake someone's hand and be like, hey, every Friday I give away something. Would your business be willing to take part in this campaign? We highlight it. We do all the work. All you got to do is just tell us what you want us to highlight. And then you take it away from here. So you guys have been doing it for years. So how does this benevolence campaign work for you guys?
It's wonderful. It really is. We're at a point now that people ask us, can I be next week's person? And yeah, it's so rewarding to be able to go into a business. We've already know these people because we've been shaking hands and communicating with them. Ask them if they want to become our next week's person, and they're all over it. They want to help us, and they want us to help them. So it's a two-way street, and it works out really well. I really encourage people to really start to do this. We do $100 gift certificate. You don't have to start out with $100. You know, you can start out with
you don't. We've done that too. We took a little break. We're doing it again. And my advice this time is we're currently doing this and launching this, and I'm getting like 8 or 12 lined up. So we're 2 months ahead. That's my biggest thing. Once you do this, even if you're starting a podcast like yourself, like get 10 episodes done before you launch. That way you're ahead of the game so that you can always reduce whether it's going to be a monthly podcast or a weekly podcast or whatever. You're always ahead of the game. Same thing with this. If you're going to do it every Friday, make sure you got a few lined up. That way each week you can work on getting 1 or 2 and not fall behind. So that's my biggest tip. Number 2, gift certificate. I didn't even think about that. What we've been doing is asking them to put together like $100 bundle. So like our mechanic, he does oil changes. I was like, oh, how is he going to do this? He's like, I'll give away an oil change. I was put in a basket with a bunch of candy and chocolates, and we'll give that away. I'm like, great. So it comes with, nobody cares about the chocolates, but they definitely want an oil change. That's fantastic. Right. And they get to check out his business, which is fantastic. So that was one. So that's great. So then what do you do? So you get the certificates lined up, and then how does it work? How are you guys doing it?
Well, what we do is we ask them to give us a blurb of what they do. All right. And we want them to promote our business as well as their own business. So they send us a little snippet of what is going to go on. We get the gift certificate, obviously, and we promote it, and they promote us as well, obviously. And then what we do is we have to be able to be eligible for this, we ask that people sign up by giving us their email. So now we're building our email list for potential clients. And the other company is doing the same thing. They're getting our email list. We're getting their email list. It's a win-win situation. Then we do the electronic canasta kind of a thing. Mm-hmm. And again, to be eligible, we put in all these emails, and we find out on Wednesday, we do the canasta. We draw the name. We send them an email. We do not get in touch with them personally. It's all through the emails. So you have to open your email to know that you win. So that keeps our email list fresh, because if you don't open our emails after 5 emails, you fall off again. So you're not there anymore. So we have to recopulate and everything. So then we do the drawing. We give them a week to get in touch with us. If they don't get in touch with us, that $100 gift certificate is held over, and we go to the next week's $100 gift certificate. So potentially the next winner could win, not potentially, actually, the next winner will win $200.
Oh, so the next winner will win both prizes.
Both prizes. And if it continues, it's So the one may not have interested them and they didn't answer us, but the next one, so it's potentially, it just rolls over and rolls over. It's wonderful.
Yeah, or you could pick a new winner and you have 2 winners the next week. That's fine too. I like that. That's great. See, so that's how you kind of organize it. You can see why you probably want to get ahead and have 8 or 10 of these lined up for 10 weeks, so that as you get this going, and I'm sure your daughter is running the digital email component. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Good. So we're probably got some type of a landing page that we've created, maybe on your website, and it's got name and email, and they sign up and it automatically goes into your email list that's titled, Friday giveaway or weekly giveaway. And so that you can keep them in that. And guys, this is where marketing flourishes and blossoms, when you start to have information. That's how the currency of marketing is information, not money. The machine works on more information that it has, the better the machine is. Then you can use money to amplify and do advertising with that information. But there you go. Okay, I sound like a broken record, but there we go. So that's great. So and then how's that going so far? How are you guys? Of course, you enjoy it. It's fun to help the community. But how's it going as far as your chiropractic office?
Absolutely incredible.
Nice.
Absolutely incredible. Yeah. And we actually, you say to get 10 or 12, they have the entire year mapped out for our Friday giveaway.
Wonderful. Yeah, you guys are OCD. Perfect. I love it.
Right. Yeah. Sometimes we have to shake it up, and switch people around a little bit. But we've got the entire year mapped out, so we don't have to think about it anymore.
Love it. See, there you go. You got 50 businesses all ready to rock and roll. It's so great. Yep. So wonderful. And the trickle down effect happens for many years after you run this. So the people that, you get in 2024 and you build this list, the list just keeps growing, of course, as the years go by. But then, you may never see them again in 2024. But guess what? In 2026, they need a chiropractor. And guess who they're calling?
That's right.
Yeah. They're calling you. And that's how this all works. That's fantastic there. What are some other marketing things that you enjoyed over the years, over, I guess, 4 decades of chiropractic care? What were some things that you've enjoyed and you've kept doing that you find yourself always going back and doing all the time?
The little community fairs.
Yeah.
We always do the little community fairs, the little out in the park kind of a thing. Now, of course, everything has just blossomed when it comes to features and things. Like we have a bubble machine that we use, and so that attracts people, especially the kids. We have all kinds of little a spine that all the vertebrae are cups, and you get these little ping pong balls and you get to throw these in. So just fun little things. And being 2 females, we do have quite a large pediatric following. So we do little kid stuff a lot of times.
Yeah, that's your ideal client.
Yeah, lots of fairs. We still enjoy those.
Fair. So you set up the old a tent, a table, have some information in a bubble machine, and give away some stickers or something like that. That's it. But do you collect any emails or information at that fair?
Always get the email.
That's the whole point. That's the whole point. Yeah, remember you come away from a screening, and it would always be, how many new patients did you sign up? And some screenings was 0, some screenings was 1, and the whole team would be disappointed. And we'd get like 25 names for the draw, or maybe 50 or 100 names that filled out their name and email to win whatever we were given, a vase or whatever it was. And we didn't do anything with the email list. It was 2009. We go keep the paper. I mean, the things that you'll learn as time goes by. So anyone listening,
are golden and key to growing your business.
Gold. I mean, you cannot over email people. You just can't. You actually have to email them more than you think, just to keep their attention, because they're deleting most of their emails anyways.
Yep. Got to keep your presence known.
Yes, make your presence known. So the fairs, that's something you always go down to. And what's something new that has driven you crazy? Maybe, let's say, what is it, 2024? Let's say post-COVID, since 2020, that is just driving you bonkers as a business owner that you don't want to do, but you keep doing.
Oh, gee, I don't know that there is anything that I don't want to do. We keep expanding and try to do bigger and better things.
So you're always trying.
Yes. Always trying new things. And some things don't work. They flop, and that's fine. On to the next one.
Great.
Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah. I don't know that there's anything that I don't like. That is what I don't like, dealing with the computers. That's my personal thing.
We got that. The computers. Yeah, I know. There's a certain point. Like Rhonda and I are probably around the same age. We're at that cutoff where computers are like, yeah, we got to do it. We understand.
Yes.
And then if you're a little bit older than us, it's like they really don't like it. Some of them have learned and forced themselves to be good, but my mom is like I don't even know how to log in. My dad doesn't know how to turn it on. Like, he doesn't know where the power button is. So
I'm learning very slowly and very begrudgingly. But
yeah, so that's
Brooklyn. I don't know if you're aware of Brooklyn, our assistant. Brooklyn she is key. She's like, she grew up. She came out of utero working on computers and dealing with them. So yeah, she's the one that got me all hooked up for today's little podcast, because that's like, I don't know what I'm doing. Can you hear me? I don't know.
You did great. No, this is fantastic. Look at that. Yeah, some help goes a long way too. And your team, you can delegate all this. I mean, I think where my question was, that last question was going, was like, a lot of us are CEOs of our business, and we have to do things we don't like. We have to fire people. We have to do payroll. We have to do taxes. We have to do whatever, HOA fees, whatever it may be. There's things we don't like. So that's why I was asking, is there anything that you do that you don't like? But you kept it to marketing, which is good. And that was the perfect answer, that you should not be doing anything that you don't like. And there's chiropractors right now that they're almost like squirrels that get distracted with the new shiny things, and they do it and they don't even like doing it. Like some examples are like, where some of these machines, Shockwave or neuropathy, or these machines and these lasers and whatever it may be. And then it's hard to get clients. It's expensive to get clients. And when they're there, they realize, wow, I'm not a neurologist. I maybe should not be doing this. But then they keep doing it because they're told that the money is good. Yeah.
You have to be true to yourself. If you don't believe in it, you can't
do it.
Right. And you can't pass on the legitimacy of it to your patients. They can see through that.
Right.
That's one that goes by the wayside. Try something else.
Right. You don't do Google ads or Facebook ads. You have never done that. You built a practice, and you nurture that list, and you nurture those people, and you're probably mainly a referral based practice. Yes. If people want to see Dr. Jacqueline, it's probably referral based. And Rhonda's probably attracting more newer patients from, outside sources. I'm just guessing.
Correct.
I'm just assuming that's how there you go. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. That's great. Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us. I mean, these are golden tips. I mean, this is just a great podcast. If you're listening to it, feel good of like, wow, it's a long journey. It's a great career. We're lucky to be chiropractors, honestly. So enjoy what you do and have fun with it. When you get into the community, it's so fun. You do not have to be an extrovert to get out in the community and shake hands. That's another thing that people are like, I don't like talking to people. Well, if you don't like doing workshops, it's a lot more fun to go into a business and say, hey, how can I help you? No one ever kicks you out of their business saying, wait a minute, what's going on here? That's correct. Great. Thanks for the tips.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course. Enjoy your week.
You do the same.